Hi, good afternoon. We're here with Vicky Roberts from Vicky Roberts Hotel Support. How are you doing, Vicky?
Yeah, all good, thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you very much for joining us on the Business Spotlight series and being willing to give us your experience in running your business. So, if you could start us off and just tell us a bit more about who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it for, please.
Yeah, sure. I started the business 5 years ago. We had our fifth birthday this year.
Congratulations.
We provide support for hotels and venues, specifically working with them with their group accommodation, meeting and event sales teams. So we work with them to develop their sales strategy, their processes, their systems, and also we provide interim support. So when they're between recruitment or they've got people on long-term sick or maternity leave, we kind of keep their inquiries being responded to so that they don't lose any revenue in the long term.
Fantastic. How did you get into that then? What made you 5 years ago set up this business?
I I always knew I was going to do it. I actually bought the websites long before I took the plunge, really. And I took what I did for one hotel company and put it into a business model. So the work that you're doing for one hotel company, which was 28 hotels, working with all those teams, there was an absolute need for one, the interim support, but also everything that I did from a team development point of view. I knew that there were so many more hotels out there that would benefit from that short, sharp burst of development, basically. And we've hotels always have issues with recruitment in event sales, so the interim support just seemed a really easy fix for people.
Right. And are you unique in what you do, or are there many other people that provide that kind of service? Where do you sit in this sector?
I would say from from the training side, do you know what? There's a million probably people out there, different trainers. So no, from that element, probably not. From the system, the property management system configuration and efficiency processes, then probably uh, there's a couple of us out there that probably hotels can reach out to. But probably where we have the strong competitor edge is the interim support that
Mhm.
we provide, well, the team provide, to be fair, because there's a lot of companies out there doing out of hours reservation calls and complete outsourced function. But that interim support, where somebody just needs somebody for 3 months, 6 months, and for meeting and event sales, is probably unique. Yeah.
Fantastic. So what would you say? It sounds like you obviously went from seeing an opportunity in the sector to then going it alone and realizing the opportunity. So what's your business journey been like to date? Going as that one person, I guess, that sees an opportunity. Were you doing the work at the start, or do you still do the work? Do you have to find your own work? How does how's the journey been for you to get it to be a functioning business?
It's been interesting. I'll tell you that.
Is that
um,
the one
I,
word?
st
Interesting.
I started in September 2019, and it was just
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Um, and it was great because you look after your own diary. There's only you to think about, and you're serious about it. But it feels like you're so busy doing the work that you're not really running a business because you're in the thick of it and you're going out to hotels and providing the interim support. And then it got obviously to February, March time, and COVID decided to make an appearance. So I literally thought that was the most short-lived business ever going. I couldn't actually see it coming back.
Yeah.
It was hard, but I got a couple of projects in between with a couple of hotel management companies who were trying to work out what to do because of COVID. So I went in and helped them with their processes and development. So yeah, it was in between lockdowns. There was some work there, and then it was only really probably January 2021, I think. No, probably 22 actually, when I think about it. I feel like we've lost a year because of that whole COVID piece.
It's
So
gone so
2022
quickly.
is probably where I saw it really crank up, like the request, because what had happened was all the hotels had made everybody redundant after furlough.
Mhm.
And they equally obviously thought event sales is not going to come back. And that's where the demand came in, and people realized that actually we need some support. And my name was out there because that's what we'd been promoting for years. So I took on a team member, somebody I'd worked with before. And then from there, I recruited somebody every single month to do the work, basically, to go in and work with hotels and make sure their inquiries are being responded to. And that probably has been the process. And I think everybody now is pretty much 2 years into the team. We're all 2 years old, as I would call it.
Yeah.
But they're a great set of women. So
Yeah.
now I do get involved in the work. I'm still out and about with hotels. I'm working with a lot of hotel management companies, again, mainly on the systems training and the configuration and
Mhm.
kind of health checking them, because they came out of a period of COVID where people have forgotten what to do. Well,
Mhm.
it's not that they forgot what to do, really. It's probably they didn't have the resource to do an amazing job. And so processes go by the wayside, and something has to give, right? So they
Sure.
do what they believe is important, but that might not be the task that's going to make the hotel money. So
Sure.
it's just really to try and refocus them, I suppose.
And what does the future look like then for you, and any opportunities, challenges that you can foresee at the moment?
Well, the aim is that the company is absolutely going to grow. That is what I'm striving towards. We've probably, I think, in 5 years of business, you're walking up a hill constantly.
Mhm.
That's how I can liken it to that. You're walking up a hill, and there's no every corner you see, there's another hill behind that corner. And I think in year 5, we've literally just leveled off
Mhm.
and we're just walking now. So this is the opportunity, I suppose, the year where I've been able to probably breathe,
Mhm.
take stock, look at things. What are we doing? Can we do it differently? Um, with the aim to then grow. I want to double the team really in the next 5 years.
Fantastic. How big's your team at the moment?
How what, sorry?
How big's the team at the moment?
So there's 8 of them. That includes Emily, who does my marketing. So that for me was a crucial piece.
Mhm.
And the other team members, all really solid, well experienced meeting and event sales managers that are all parents. They all get to work remotely. So I've given them their, I suppose, their work-life balance. There's no commute for them.
Sure.
They can log off and just enjoy family time, basically. And they're a really good set of team members. Half of them I've employed previously and worked and trained them before. So better the devil you know, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. If you've got relationships, you've got to leverage those, especially in the market, and trust and all that kind of thing
Yeah,
is
exactly.
important.
So yeah, we're aiming to double that. I mean, we have just started something new. In fact, I've got the contract to send out to him, but we've got a team member that's going to join us, who I'm going to put through an Open University content creation course to sit alongside his event management degree. So that will support him in his degree, but also supports me that he can learn content creation and we can improve our social media visibility, because that's probably one of our massive downfalls. We do everything on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and that's where the business comes from. LinkedIn is probably 90% and then 10% referral.
Wow.
So we just need to kind of improve our visibility on other platforms, not necessarily to make money because it's not a product, it's a service. But I think the more visible you are out there, the better, really. So we just need to tap into the different social media platforms.
Great stuff. Sounds like an exciting future then. So what would you say in the last 5 years has been your biggest lesson to date running the business? If there's one that you could pick out and then expand on it.
Don't think you're a specialist in everything.
Yeah.
So it's so when you start a business, you know, you think, right, I've got to build a website, I've got to do some marketing, I've got to get the sales in, I've got to look at my finances, what am I doing about the revenue coming in? What does that 3 month projection look like? And you're trying to do all of these things as well as actually do the job itself.
Yeah.
And what I soon learned, and it was only one post that I did on LinkedIn that I thought, I need someone doing this regularly. I need someone posting 2-3 times a week. And I just don't, one, I don't really have the time. But I needed someone to be able to think from a marketing perspective and really kind of get us out there. And whilst, there's an element of marketing, I know I didn't have the time to focus on it. So you need a specialist. So I would say if you're starting up, don't try do everything. Pick out what's really important to your business and let someone else roll with that. You'll still kind of keep in with them. You'll have your weekly catch-ups, give them some direction, but let them take the lead on it. And that for me has been invaluable. Having Emily on board has really, really developed the business.
Brilliant. Good share there. Thank you very much for that, Vicky. So if you were approached by someone and they say, I'm just starting a business, would that be the piece of advice you'd offer them? Is there anything else in the mix that you'd say, you know what, if I'd known this when I started, this would be a great piece of advice?
I'd love to tell them to have some savings behind them. I started with nothing.
Well, it meant you had to go for it.
You've just got to be brave. Do you know what? Starting your own business when you've got a solid salary coming in, and the reason I went into business was because I was tired of people telling me I couldn't have holiday or couldn't have 2 weeks holiday. I could have a week. No, you can't have that day off. No, you can't have this afternoon off. And for me, I just wanted freedom of my own diary. I think when I started it, I was going to be recruiting 8 other people and, would be 5 years in. No, I didn't. I thought it was just going to be me. So be brave. Ideally have some money behind you because that just gives you your safety net. But get the specialists to help. And there's so many out there that can just help you on an interim level. You don't actually have to take them on, for a 12-month contract. They'll help you for a month, 2 months. I mean, Emily was only supposed to be a 3-month help me out kind of piece, but she's now with us 2 years in. So, that's the lesson, isn't it? It proved right. It was the right thing to absolutely do.
The right thing. Keep hold of them. So, what inspires them, Vicky? What is it, I suppose, that makes you want to do what you do?
Good question. What inspires me? I like helping people. Do you know what? I like helping people. I like helping the hotels because you can go into so many hotels and when you've got a new starter, they haven't really been developed, their induction hasn't been right. And I worked with a hotel just recently in Newcastle, and they actually just said, Vicky, can you just come in and do that induction piece with them? Can you teach them the system? Can you teach them the processes? And the team members that went through that training have just walked into that role feeling so much more confident. They feel developed. They feel invested in. And it just makes it's good for them. It's good for employment retention, and it's good for the hotel because people can hit the ground running rather than you trying to train them whilst doing the job. So probably the teams that I work with inspire me the most, because you can see how well that they're doing and improving.
Yeah,
to be honest,
see a lot of change from when you start to when you finish in that development of a person, I guess.
It does make such a big difference to a team member if you can do that for them. Absolutely.
Nice. So lastly then, just before we wrap up, if there's any latest news that you'd like to share, Vicky, around what you're doing, what you're up to, or even if it's a case of sharing your website, so if people would like to get in touch with you, that they can do, feel free to do that now.
Yeah, absolutely. You can visit vicky-roberts.com, which will give you all detail about the team and everything that we provide from a service, which really kind of helps hotels and venues. So whether they're a hotel or a sporting venue or university, we work with a number of organisations And yeah, the team are more than happy to just be an extension of their team and help out, really.
Fantastic. Thanks, Vicky. Really appreciate sharing all that you have. And I wish you all the best for the next 5 years of the business and doubling that team.
Thanks, Mike. Can you come back in 5 years and we'll just have that conversation?
Noted. I'll put it on my calendar. Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Vicky.